Wanted to do a quick video on my tomatoes at my house, and I wanted to give a little shout out to Crystal of 7, and hope she gets to watch this on the tomatoes. I planted tomatoes before a couple of times in my life, and so this is what it looks like here. And I watched a few videos, and they said to clip the leaves at the bottom so it would produce more fruit, the tomatoes. So I did that. So they're a little skinny. At the bottom, I'll show you. And I do need to add more dirt. So like here, and that white part is just egg shells, because that's really good for the tomatoes. And coffee, I throw coffee out there a little bit, and also fertilizing on the 1st and the 15th or around there. You don't have to be specific. So I'm gonna go tomorrow and get a few more bags of dirt and try to bring it up a little bit, so when I water, the soil will wash away. So I got to keep adding dirt just every once in a while, maybe once a month, something like that. So these are the big boys. They'll probably be ready in, I don't know, maybe another month or something like that, or 2 weeks or something, I'm not sure. And now this cage right here, this is really cool. I got this on Amazon, and I want to say I got 6 of them for like $60. So they're a little expensive. The tomato cages, even the metal ones, are expensive. And they do make taller ones, but they're really expensive, and I just can't afford that right now. But the great thing about these purple ones is they're adjustable. So see, you can pop this off and make it, so I've been adjusting them as they grow. So that's pretty cool. I really like these, and they're reusable. So I'll probably get more of those next year, maybe. And and I think these are some heirlooms right here. So they'll be ready pretty soon. And there's a big one right there, a couple of big ones. And this plant is an heirloom. So the tomatoes don't get very big, but they'll get very dark. And these two will probably be ready in a couple of days. So when you cut them open, they're kind of a blackish red, mostly black, but they taste really good. And they're heirlooms, so you can save the seeds if you'd like and plant them next year. Okay, here's a couple more. I think these are heirloom too. Let's see, there's a lot of them there. And they've grown very tall. They're probably 5 feet tall. This one especially, or these 3. And then these are just the little babies, that you put in a salad, the little miniature ones. And there's some I need to, here, I'll try to get closer. I need to pick those. So, and they're just full. They're just full of tomatoes. And they're very good. I like to put them in my salad, or just a quick snack or something. Now, I did end up planting a cucumber over here, but I planted them late, and probably 2 or 3 weeks late, because I got really sick. So I just couldn't be out here, planting anything. And then this right here is a strawberry plant, but I think you have to have, a lot of them. So maybe next year, I'll plant this row. And then I got this little netting thing so for them to climb on. And then my tomatoes started getting very heavy. So instead of, and they were falling over. So instead of buying the larger tomato cages, I just took some yarn and wrapped it around and tied it to the fence up here. And that seems to be working pretty well. So you just got to be careful if you crawl under there that, you don't mess up the little tie-offs and everything. So it looks a little bit funny. I got some big yarn right here. And, but it's very good. So I just wanted to show you. I mean, it's just me and my daughter. So, I don't need too many. And I'm giving them away to my co-workers and my clients that I care for during the week. And I also been watering them once a day, but now I'm watering them twice a day. I try not to get the leaves very wet because they just don't seem to like it, and that can encourage disease. Is another reason you want to cut these off, or take the leaves off the bottom so they look very tall and spindly, but it's all right. And then this right here is what they call a sucker. This little, now you can take that off and start it in a cup of water until it sprouts, and then you can have a whole nother tomato plant. But they say to take those off because that's sucking the life out of the plant, and also any dead leaves, you want to remove those. So I come out here, I just come out here every day and check them, take the suckers off and water them, and you just gotta baby them. So and I want to tell you about the tomatoes. You can blanch them, and for the winter you want to store some and freeze some in the freezer. I get the big freezer bags and I just blanch them. So you put them in very hot water just for a second or two. Take them out, and then they'll peel very easily. Chop them up, put them in the freezer bags, and they'll last you all winter long until, almost the whole year until you have tomatoes again. So I did that one year. I had enough tomatoes that I gave them away to neighbors, friends, everyone, and still, ate a ton of them that summer, and still had a lot of tomatoes to freeze, multiple bags. And I do double bag them just to make sure they don't leak in the freezer or something. And then I'll show you this over here. My daughter planted these wildflowers, and I watered them in the morning. I haven't watered them yet, so they're looking a little punky, but they're very easy to grow. And the one in the center right here is a dwarf cherry tree. So that's a dwarf cherry. And then I didn't know that these flowers were going to get so tall, kind of overshadows the little tree. But it's going to take a few years for that to get bigger and more full. And then these are called Forsythe, and it's a hedge, and I've planted many of them along the fence line to give privacy from the neighbors' dogs barking all the time. So hopefully that will fill in the next couple of years, but everything takes time. So, and supposed to plant them 3 or 4 feet apart, and then they'll eventually fill in, and that'll just be a solid hedge, but more of a softer type of hedge, So we'll just see how that goes. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to say. Hope you guys have a great day. All right, bye.